Tom Winchie. I'm the new paraprofessional at CLI here at Godley High School, starting my first year, and happy to be interviewed today.
Okay, question number 1. What are some abilities, skills, and tasks you use on a daily basis to make your job easier?
Definitely having a computer and system operation, familiar with how the softwares interact, how the computers run, what we need to do to problem solve, and basically just communicate with the operators what they're having issue-wise, trying to find the best solution in a timely manner. That prior experience in engineering field has been really good, helping me with that.
Okay, number 2. What kind of education and knowledge is required for your job?
Probably the basic education of, if you've taken any kind of computer science courses, I would recommend. The technology is becoming very in-depth between just checking in and out books, has gone to virtual libraries, having virtual editions, globally. So the familiar with the Dewey Decimal System as used to, is good, but understanding how to manage the inventories, all the books you see, is just the tip of the iceberg. In the digital world, we're doing the virtual classrooms, having understanding of how to operate in Google Classroom, how to operate in any of the other systems the school is using, the students are using. So from high school to college, I would say any kind of technical field would be very well suited for this. And then any kind of language arts as well, understanding some of the different backgrounds of the literature and things that you're working with gives you an ability to help students as well.
Okay. What are some negative and positive aspects of your career?
Let's see, probably the biggest positive is getting to work with the students, getting to help them not only when they have problems, trying to get their computer to work or trying to get the access on textbooks and things like that for the virtual students, but getting just to help them grow and flourish, really. Teaching them how to problem solve, and maybe some of the other things we're doing here recently are some custom projects for students where they're wanting to reorganize the library and come up with a different way of organizing the books and being able to search for them in our catalog. So that's been really good. Biggest negative is probably just the dealing with the coronavirus and all the isolation we have to do, and everyone's sick of that, I know. But getting just the time crunch and not being able to get everyone in a fast, timely manner is a negative thing I see. There's a lot of delay time and trying to get tech support, maybe, things like that.
What kind of physical activities are required for your job?
So physical activities, probably the number one here is walking. I mean, that's going to be covering the school. Ms. Christensen, as you've seen, is probably all over the building. I don't do quite as much because I'm trying to help here locally, but lifting the books, being able to move computers, assemble workstations, desks, things like that are probably not uncommon. Moving furniture, so about the same kind of physical limitations you'd have in an apartment or a house. Building up something like this would be pretty comparable.
What kind of tools and technology is required in this job?
Say the number one tool is going to be understanding the operating system again. So we use a software that categorizes the library. Of course, you've got the numbering system you see on all the books, but also mandating that the students are using their IDs. We're tracking every book checked in and out by the student using the ID this year, just scanning. That's all done on their own. So that's covering this side of it, and then the technology side of it. I need to know how to operate the basic management systems for Google Admin, the Active Directory that allows me to reset passwords. And so there's a big responsibility in making sure you're doing the right thing and you're not in a hurry. You could reset the wrong password of somebody else or do damage to the account that person has digitally. So you got to be very, I guess, detail orientated and as well as careful. You don't get too big of a hurry to make a big mistake that could really ruin someone's day.
Yeah. What are some of your work activities, styles, and values?
So as far as the work values, are you talking like just, I think how to answer that. Are you looking for kind of what characteristics, you know, this position requires, or?
Yeah, and more of like, what do you want out of this job? Like, what do you want to get done and accomplish?
Okay, so we definitely want to be able to grow the capabilities of the CLI. We have a 3D printer that is on limited use. I want to expand that. That's one of the areas I'd like to grow, so the students can come in and do 3D design and modeling. I have an engineering background, so whenever we get back into robotics, electronics, you know, building circuits and systems like that would be great. So it's much more than just a library. It's building an entire, you know, learning experience and growth area for the students. So that that need to continually improve is very important, I think, for this kind of a background.
Your styles, like, I don't know how to like phrase that one. It's kind of difficult.
Styles,
Yeah.
like personal styles, or you know, just being flexible. You know, being able to adapt day to day. You're gonna have different questions come in, different problems that need help. So being flexible, not necessarily rigid that you're going to be on a certain time schedule, and you're by no means doing the same thing every day, especially in today's today's school. You know, we've got all kinds of things happening, virtual students moving back and forth and causing issues when, you know, things don't work on the electronic side, as well as just the difference in what we've normally done down here versus what we can do now on 6 foot limitations, you know, for social distancing.
Yeah.
You gotta be flexible. That's probably number one. This is a great opportunity to tell you a little more about the CLI here, the Center for Learning and Innovation at Godley High School. We definitely want to encourage all students to come down and find a new area to grow in, find a new thing to learn. There's new skills that we want to keep building here. So, you know, it's much more than a library. It's a digital resource. It's also hands-on activities and great opportunities for you to learn. So it's been an opportunity to speak to you today that I've really enjoyed, and have the best year possible. Thank you.